Our AFC West like battle continues here on the Kansas City Chiefs Report for the entire month of July. We are seeing which one of our respective channels can get the most likes to prove that not only we have the best fans in the AFC West, but the entire National Football League. And you can see we are slightly behind in a very close race as Mitchell Renz and the Raiders Report, they were talking some smack. Really, they have nothing to live off of except the days of Kenny Stabler and enjoying things in the 70s. And then you got Broncos Breakdown, who thinks that Peyton Manning's going to come out of retirement, but he's too busy eating Papa John's. And they seem to be excited, have some fake optimism about that fraud Bo Nix, but whatever it is, go ahead and hit that like button. Let's win this challenge for the month of June. We'll get started with today's show. Minicamp rolls on for the Kansas City Chiefs. We are now 2 days in. Let's tell you everything you need to know from what we've learned so far to this point. Tyler Schultz, your fearless leader, here with you. Thanks for joining us. On today's show, we're going over the top 5 storylines of what has occurred to this point. And where I want to begin today is on the defensive side of the ball with Trent McDuffie at the corner spot. Trent McDuffie, I'm a big fan. You guys are all big fans of Trent McDuffie. And on the first day of minicamp, he had his struggles, believe it or not. This comes from Pete Sweeney of Arrowhead Pride, who says the following. On the first play of 11-on-11, running back Isiah Pacheco lined out wide and beat corner Trent McDuffie down the right sideline, catching a pass that likely would have went for a touchdown. Wide receiver JuJu Smith-Schuster fought off McDuffie to bring in a pass a few plays later. This, my friends, is a bit surprising. We don't talk very often about Trent McDuffie getting outworked, getting outplayed. But is it a cause for concern? Absolutely not. Everybody has a bad practice. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. I'm not going to read too much and overreact at all to what an all-pro corner is doing in a glorified scrimmage where they're wearing shorts and all that at mandatory minicamp. It's okay. It's going to be just fine. McDuffie's going to be okay. In fact, I like this corner room a lot myself. When you factor in McDuffie, Jalen Watson is fully healthy now. I really like Christian Fulton, who they brought in from the Chargers. Noah Williams had a bit of a rough go at OTAs, the rookie out of Cal, but I think he's going to be very good. It's not something to stress over, but it is something that I was a bit caught off guard by. I'll say that much. Folks, want to make sure you're subscribed to the Kansas City Chiefs Report, as we are bringing you daily news and rumors, sometimes 2 and 3 videos a day, live shows each and every Tuesday. We also have breaking news, Q&A mailbags, the most interactive Chiefs YouTube channel around is the Kansas City Chiefs Report. Want to make sure you are subscribed. Let's get at least 20 subs off today's video. Stay up to date with everything happening from minicamp and all the way to the countdown to training camp. We got you covered each and every way possible here on the channel. Subscribe now for free, youtube.com/ChiefsTV. From one struggle to somebody that is standing out. Tyquan Thornton, the former Baylor Bears wide receiver and New England Patriot, he has caught the eye of some of the media members out there, including friend of the show, Jesse Newell of the Kansas City Star. Jesse writing the following. Some notebook items from today's Chiefs practice. Wide receiver Tyquan Thornton took reps at gunner. He's impressed in OTAs, so him adding special teams value could be important as he tries to make the roster. And there are some rumblings that when it comes to Tyquan Thornton, that he very well might beat out Nikko for one of those last roster spots. And we've seen Nikko has brought a ton of value, in particular with what he's done on special teams as one of the leading return specialists for this Kansas City Chiefs team. But here's the bottom line. If you're Andy Reid, you're Brett Veach, evaluating this roster here, I think that when it comes down to it, if you're trying to separate these players, you want to find not who is going to be just a better return man, but who is going to offer more as an overall player. Can Tyquan Thornton be just as good as Nikko in special teams? Probably not. But he has more upside as a receiver and can still help out in the special teams department. So he might have that advantage potentially going for him. Personally, I would be okay with either one of these guys getting one of those final wide receiver roster spots. I would think that Nikko probably has the advantage that he's more likely to get one of those spots with his previous experience and having been here longer. But let's let the best man win and see ultimately how it all plays out for Kansas City. Let's ask you, if you had to pick one to keep, would you rather roll with Taekwon Thornton or would you rather roll with Nikko? Type TT for Taekwon Thornton. Type NR for Nikko. Let us know which one you would rather keep for one of those final roster spots. Let's talk Josh Simmons now, the Chiefs' first-round pick out of the Ohio State. Still coming back from the injury and all. And one of the big storylines for him has been, all right, what's he going to be able to do in this offseason program? And can he get fully healthy in time for Chiefs training camp as he tries to compete for the starting left tackle position with Jaylon Moore? We've all heard the reports that indicate that Josh Simmons is the favorite, that he's got the upper hand. But with that said, what can he still do, and how can he seize the moment even when he's somewhat limited of sorts? Well, according to Simmons himself, he's jumping on the opportunities that are presented in front of him. He said this yesterday: just trying to be as available as I can right now, whether that's 2-a-days, 3-a-days, rehab sessions. I know Jaylon Moore and those guys are working their tails off. So if they ever need a breather, I want to make sure I'm right behind them. Now, as I'm reading into that quote, folks, did you notice the one name, the only name he mentioned was Jaylon Moore, of all people, the man that he is competing with for that starting left tackle spot? He is keeping his tabs, his eyes on Jaylon Moore. This is one of those deals where it's the old adage, my friend is my enemy here. He obviously wants to start, and rightfully so. Can't blame him one bit. But it is fascinating that he's looking at Jaylon Moore as like, okay, that guy's working his tail off. I have something to do. I have something to prove if I want to go out there and win that job. And as the adage goes, iron sharpens iron here. I hope that when it comes to this competition, there's no one I'm necessarily rooting for. I want the best man to win and for the Chiefs to be in the best position possible when it comes to who their starting left tackle is going to be. And I think most people would agree with that sentiment. With that said, iron sharpens iron here. And if you're Josh Simmons looking across the way of what Jaylon Moore is doing, and that's pushing you, if that's getting a little something extra out of you, I think that's a very good thing for the Kansas City Chiefs here. And I think that we're going to see both of them here in 2025. I think there's still a decent chance that if Simmons wins the job, we could see Moore potentially moving over to the guard spot. But it's a position of strength, and I think that's a good thing for the Kansas City Chiefs. And I like actually hearing that from Josh Simmons, that of all people he's talking about and giving credit for, it's the guy he's competing against in Jaylon Moore there. If you had to pick one to start, if we're up to you, who would you rather be the Chiefs' starting left tackle in 2025? Would you rather roll with Josh Simmons, or would you rather roll with Jaylon Moore? Type JS for Josh Simmons. Type JM for Jaylon Moore. Weigh in the comment section and tell me which way you lean towards. Folks, we got a great deal we're offering right now. We have Nike Chiefs T-shirts on sale with free shipping. This comes at a very low cost. You guys know Nike gear typically isn't that cheap. I'm not breaking any news here by telling you this. It is getting hot. It is getting humid in Kansas City, folks. You want to be wearing T-shirts, and you want to be repping your favorite team at the same time. Check this shirt out now. Take advantage of it with the free shipping at chatsports.com/ChiefsNike to get yours today. The link is in the comments and description of today's video. We also have other Chiefs merchandise at that same link. Go see for yourself now. Chatsports.com/ChiefsNike. Number 4 on our list. Let's go to the wide receiver position. This is where we find Hollywood Brown, who's looking to have a bounce-back season after missing most of 2024 after he got injured in the preseason, came back towards the end of the year, played in the entire playoff run, but we did not really see him be too productive. There was a few flashes here and there, but he wasn't his old self of what the Kansas City Chiefs thought that they were getting out of Hollywood Brown. And another thing, too, he was more of a possession receiver. He was used towards the middle of the field and short yardage, and they didn't really stretch the field vertically, which is what they were anticipating that they were going to do with Hollywood Brown when he signed. But for Hollywood Brown, he's talking about his bounce back, his expectations. He's making his goals clear. It's one thing and one thing only. Here's what he said just yesterday. A healthy season. It's my number one goal, just being able to be really showcase what I can do. That's all I'm looking to do. He also got some credit from Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes, who said this. You all saw it in training camp, how special of a football player he is. He did everything the right way, was in the building early, was in the building late, was teaching other guys. More from Mahomes saying this, for him to get injured in a kind of freak deal there in the first play of the preseason, it stunk. I was happy to have him back at the end of the season and him get back within the offense. I think that Hollywood's going to be a very nice piece. I would be surprised if he played to the caliber of what he was in Baltimore a few years ago when he had over 1,000 yards and he was their number one receiver. But when you think about what the Chiefs have to offer, Rashee Rice, I've said it before, I'll continue to reiterate, I think he can be a top 10 receiver in this league. I really like what I saw from Xavier Worthy at the end of last season. Realistically, I think Hollywood can be one of, if not the best, number 3 receivers in the entire NFL. And if injuries happen, Hollywood is going to be used a lot. I think that we look at this receiving core now, assuming everybody stays healthy, with Hollywood included, this is going to be the best group we've seen in a long time. And I think that Hollywood's going to be a great fit for what the Chiefs are looking to do. Do you believe in Hollywood Brown? How are we feeling, Kingdom? What do you guys think? Type B for believe, D for don't. Weigh in the comments section and tell me how you feel. Last on our list for minicamp takeaways, let's talk about one of the newest members of the Kansas City Chiefs. That is Jerry Tillery, who was signed in free agency coming over from the Minnesota Vikings. And although Tillery has not been here too long, he has fully bought in. Here's what he said on Mandatory Minicamp. I think the way we came to work, focused every day, there's a very high level of expectations on everybody. It's important to buy in quickly, which I think that I have. The coaches are tough. They're hard. The practices are difficult, but it's all geared towards winning, towards getting the best out of yourself, and that's why I'm here. And that just goes back to the championship culture that this Kansas City Chiefs team has established. And when you come to Kansas City now, there is an expectation to live up to. There is a way of doing things. And guys like Jerry Tillery, I mean, you either shit or get off the pot, right? You got to be all in on this thing and do what this team expects. And I love hearing that from Jerry Tillery. You know, one of the things, we were talking about Josh Simmons earlier, and the discussions about him, the leaks that came out after the draft, people were saying that there was some character concerns, that it wasn't just the injury of why his draft stock slipped, but also that they were concerned about his buy-in. And from what we've seen from Josh Simmons so far, that hasn't been an issue at all. And now you see this from Jerry Tillery and among others here. I think that, you know, you come from different situations and you see that, hey, if I'm going to make this work, we got to do it this way. And it's, I think, with Tillery, what him and maybe some of these others are saying to themselves is that, you know, they don't necessarily need me here. I have to be the one to prove that I belong and that I'm going to be the fit in here. And I think Tillery's doing a great job of that so far. If you enjoyed today's show, hit that like button. We certainly would appreciate it. I'm Tyler Jones. Thanks for joining us. We'll have more from Mandatory Minicamp tomorrow here on the channel. Stay tuned for that. We'll We'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us.